The primary green drama involving capital chemists, and this is after I assisted in arresting the shoplifter that had robbed the store. Very, very early on in my shifts, I walked into the store to see that I was being looked at by both Cassandra Smith and Gary Cans that had their hips pointed toward one another. And Gary's looking at me going, and he asks, "Are you interested?" And Cassandra has made a shape out of her fingers. And this is as their hips were pointed towards one another, and I realized it was a question because of how indirect it was. They were assigned to ask it by someone, and edified by prior dealings, working alongside Cassandra, meant that this was Roger would have put them to greeting me in this fashion, and it's so that he can make estimations in response to the question, "Are you straight or gay?" being depicted in portrait, in a portrayal. So now, if once again, and it's what the Mark 12 phenomenon, proving that these Freemasons are wrong to go, well, let's believe as the Christians do in all four Gospels, mash them all together and say, here's a martyr, let's go and survey for and identify more martyrs. They end up because of concepts like command, authority. They misread much more lightweight styles of writing, poetry, prose, fiction, as if they were stone tablet commandments. There was a policeman the other day who, a couple of nights, I still haven't shaken him off because I'm still not getting proper sleep. Even with medicine, it's unless I'm assisting a policeman with a public project, the police presence is trauma re-inducing. They are the agency responsible for splitting up my. They cost me my paternity from kindergarten onwards, from my perspective. Now, if you are by being asked in an encrypted language form that is later elaborated on, are you straight or gay? It's fucking absurd. And tremendously oppressive. Now, the other part about that dealing meant that I would know if be wary, because if I'm ever alone in a property and Cassandra Smith is texting me to greet, it will mean that all this time she was working at betrayal. I was already distanced and already asserting that I wanted distance kept from Roger and Gary altogether. I'd made that clear to them both. So, yeah. So it was disturbing to realize that they would encrypt a question that they can about a question about about your sexual health that they can ask in person, because Roger obviously felt he'd gained results in the time that passed since, because that's when he starts accosting me, saying, "Will be a good poof." A poofter is a person whose responsibility comes from the rebellion against his own sexuality. So it was obviously this greeting whereby he thought he was gathering data, be that through surveying means when I was at home, or additional surveying means while at work, both. He arrives at that conclusion, and I've already pointed out why it's fallacious, is that he believes ethical systems, the more atheistic and modern ones that work off principles, not like sketchings of Lucifer with a tail and a big red dick that's on fire, in an argument with a god with a grey beard and lightning bolt clouds under his ass cheeks, and but all they always argue, they argue in a state of rebellion. They never fuck, like they totally never fuck, and then his additional claim that all ethics stem from these two beings. What that proves is things like, well, then because his religion's secretive, Roger's a homosexual in accordance with his own definition. And it's stemming from a Yarwinian and Luciferian rebellious cult. And furthermore, it's proof that because they're involved in heterosexual weddings and a business partnership between the two of them as men, they're involved in dodgy dealings. That's all demonstrated in principle, or else they'd redact or further strive to justify the homosexual definition. Admit it's based on religious discrimination. Make the grand admission that the private sector, in particular, I'm in favor of the view that religion corrupts everything, more than I am necessarily going, well, the ability to raise free capital is something innately horrible. What I'm saying is, what's in place to protect the workforce and the private sector of the workforce from various forms of corruption and mistreatment due to religiousness, whether it be explicit or concealed religiosity in a private sector workplace. And that's my 10 minutes of fuck you.